Anne from Game Like a Mother. Today I'm going to show you how to play 8-Minute Empire Legends by Red Raven. It's for 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, and it takes from about 8 to 20 minutes to play a game. Let me show you how it works. Here I have set up a 4-player game, and the goal of the game is to earn the most victory points, which you do by controlling the most regions, islands, and through points that you acquire through the cards that you collect over the course of the game. The first thing you do is set up your playing board, which can be different every time because you use 4 modular pieces that are 2-sided to set up. You can orient them either horizontally or vertically, and they just have to be a T shape and be connected through these dotted lines. Your next step is to select your starting region. You place this token on a spot that is on the center board, but also connects to an island on a different board. So this would work, and this would work for this game. And then you put 3 armies of each color on that starting region, and whoever set up the board gets to grab 1 army from each color and put them wherever they like on a different spot, not on the center board. And so you all start out with a total of 4 armies on the board. If you're playing a 2-player game, it might look like this. If purple and gray were playing, they would set up and then they would take turns placing 10 armies of a 3rd color on different regions throughout the board, and they count as armies occupying those spots. Your next step is to lay out the cards which you're going to be acquiring over the course of the game. You do this through money. Each person is given 9 coins in a 4-player game, and the bronze coins are worth 1, the silver coins are worth 3. And in a 2 or 3-player game, you take out any of the cards that have a little 3 or 4 on them, depending on how many people you're playing with. In a 4-player game, you just have them all in here. And then this tells you how much the cards cost. This card is 0, these 2 are 1, 2, 3. If someone pays for one of these cards, and they put it in their hand, this one's scooched down, so it costs less for the next round, and then you put out a replacement card after that. Each card has an action at the bottom and an ability at the top. This card, your action is you get a total of 4 movements for your pieces, and from now on you get a bonus army whenever you place new armies. On this card, you get 2 new armies. If you had the other card, you would get a bonus 3rd army you would get to place. You get to place them on the starting settlement or if you've built a new city. And your ability is, at the end of the game, you'll get a victory point per cursed card, and it will say the word cursed on it. There's no confusion if it is or not. For instance, this card over here says Cursed King. That would be an additional victory point if you have this card. Your next card is allowing you to build a new settlement. You have to have an army on the region that you want to build a new settlement on, and then you can build one. And your ability now is that you get a bonus movement whenever you have a card that lets you move your troops. You get 1 extra movement. This card, some of them have options for you. You can choose to either place 3 new armies, and you can use your abilities if you have bonus armies to move, to add, or you can move 4 armies and you can use any bonuses that you have. So if you could move 4, but then you have a bonus movement, you'd get to move 5, and they accumulate. If you get 2 bonus movements, then it would go up to 6 or even 7, depending on how many you have. And the elixirs, whoever has the cards with the most elixirs at the end gets 2 bonus points. Next, we have another option. You get to place 2 armies or move 3, and victory point for forest cards. We have another forest. We have 2 different forest cards out here. 1, 2, so that's another couple points if you accumulated those. And last, you have a card where you get to place 3 armies, and you get to get rid of an opponent's army on wherever they've placed it on the board. You can pick one you want to take off. And a flight symbol shows that you can have a cheaper travel across water. Usually it takes 3 movements to go across water, and this would make it cost only 2. And if you've got more of these, you can stack them and it can get cheaper. And if you need a cheat sheet, they have this, which is really handy, and it shows 3 movements over water, victory points for the end of the game, and how the wings work. To decide who goes first, you take all of your coins, put them in your hand, decide how much you want to bid, place it in your fist. Everybody holds out their fists at the same time, opens them up. Whoever has bid the most wins and gets to decide who goes first. They place the coin in the pile, they pay if they're the one who won, and in the case of the tie, the youngest player gets to go first. Let me show gameplay in action. Let's say this is the first move of the game. White, everybody bid. White bid the most by bidding 1 coin, so he pays it into the middle, and now it is his turn. He can choose to get any of these cards out here. He chooses to pay 0 for this one on the end, and he now gets to place an additional army each time he gets a card that gives him new armies. And for this turn, he's moving 4 army spaces. So he's going to move 1 across the water. That costs 3 moves, and move 1 up here. That's 4 total. His turn is done. Play proceeds clockwise. We scooch these cards over and place a new one out. They now cost a different amount depending on where they line up with this chart here. I get to pick any one I like, pay for it, take my turn, and then play moves on. Let's skip ahead and I'll show you what the end of a game looks like. As you can see from the draw pile, there's just 2 cards left. Everyone has 8 cards. Most of the cities and armies have been played out on the board, and there's very little money left. I'm going to use this card to show you how to score a hand. And we will start with my hand. I was purple. This is what the end of the game looks like. So first you count up the number of regions you control. In the case of a tie, neither person gets that region, and cities count as an army. So this one would go to me, even though we both just have 1 army. My city makes it, so I have 2 for there. So I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I put down coins on the 5 and the 1, and next you count up the number of islands you control, and I control 1, 2, so I get another 2 points. I move the 1 to a 3, and again, in the case of a tie, if white had controlled this region, even though I have more armies on this side, it's still a tie between number of regions controlled on the island, so it wouldn't go to anybody. But I had both, so it goes to me. Next, we score the cards. The abilities give you victory points. So this one has 1 victory point per arcane card. I have 2 of those, so that takes me up to 10 points. Next, I get a victory point per night card. I have 1, so I get 1 more point. 1 victory point per 3 coins. I have 4 coins. The extra coin doesn't mean anything, but I get 1 point for the 3. And then I get 1 victory point per forest card. I have 1 forest card, so I'm up to 13 points total. If I had any cards with elixirs at the top, if I had the most of those, I would get 2 points for that. Or if there was a tie between multiple players, they each get 1 point. And everybody compares their final scores. Whoever has the most wins. In the event of a tie, whoever has the most coins left wins. After that, whoever has the most armies placed on the board wins, and after that, whoever controls the most regions is the winner if the ties continue. So that's how to play. It's a lot of game packed into a short amount of time, and if you want to challenge yourself to actually complete the game in 8 minutes, in a 4-player game, each person gets 15 seconds per turn. So good luck and have fun. Thanks, and see you next time from Game Like a Mother.